This chocolate bar started as a mystery that took Milton Hershey 3 years to solve. 3 years of failures, 3 years of explosions, scorched milk, and ruined batches. The problem seemed impossible. Milk is 89% water, chocolate is 80% fat. Oil and water do not mix. Every time he tried, the milk went rancid or the whole thing turned lumpy. But in 1900, he finally cracked the code. And today, I am going to show you exactly how it is done. Every temperature, every ingredient, every secret step, and which parts you could actually try at home. Let's start with ingredient number 1 and Milton Hershey's secret weapon, fresh milk. Every single day, tankers arrive carrying milk from local Pennsylvania dairy farms. Not powdered milk like Europeans used, fresh milk. But Hershey learned not all milk works. Regular milk has too much fat and goes bad quickly, so he switched to Holstein cows, which naturally produce genius. The milk arrives at 40 degrees Fahrenheit to keep it from spoiling. First step, pasteurization. The milk is heated to exactly 161 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. This kills bacteria without cooking the milk too much. If you are trying this at home, your store milk is already pasteurized. Skip this step. But now comes the tricky part. Remember, milk is mostly water. Chocolate hates water. Hershey had to figure out how to remove the water without wrecking the milk. This took him 2 years of failed experiments. Here is where Milton Hershey's genius shows up. He discovered something nobody else had figured out. The secret? Mix the sugar with the milk before drying it. Most people dried the milk first. Wrong. The mixture goes into huge heated vats at 150 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Too hot and the milk scorches. Too cool and the water does not rise. Slowly, the water evaporates. It gets thicker and thicker. This process can take hours. The factory runs continuously for days at a time. At home, you could do this. Pour milk and sugar into a heavy pot. Cook on low heat, stirring constantly. After 2 to 3 hours, you will have sweetened condensed milk. Keep cooking for another hour and you get Hershey's secret, chocolate crumb. It is thick, sticky, and looks kind of gross. But this is the heart of Hershey's recipe. This process creates butyric acid, which gives Hershey's its unique tangy taste. While the milk sugar is cooking, let's talk about the chocolate part of chocolate. Hershey's cocoa beans come from West Africa, Central America, and South America. These beans travel thousands of miles to reach Pennsylvania. The beans arrive in huge 150-pound bags. Step 1, roasting. The beans are roasted at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. This develops that chocolatey aroma. You could roast cocoa beans at home in your oven. Step 2, winnowing. This machine cracks the shells and blows them away with air, leaving just the cocoa nibs. These are the edible part of the bean. The shells fly away, the nibs drop down. Step 3, grinding. Watch this. Those dry, crunchy nibs are ground between huge steel grinding friction heat. Heat melts the cocoa butter inside the nibs, and suddenly, dry nibs turn into liquid chocolate. Some chocolate liquor goes through a hydraulic press. This squeezes out the cocoa butter, the fat. What is left is hard cocoa cake. This gets ground into cocoa powder. Why separate it? Because Hershey needs exact control over cocoa butter amounts. Now comes the fun part, putting it all together. Into gigantic mixing machines goes the chocolate crumb, chocolate liquor, extra cocoa butter for smoothness, a tiny bit of vanilla for flavor, and soy lecithin to help everything stick together. The mixture is heated to 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit and mixed thoroughly. Don't run, definitely not smooth yet. At home, you can mix these in a food processor. But here is where the factory has a huge advantage. This is the step that separates homemade chocolate from factory chocolate. It is called conching. The chocolate goes into huge machines with granite rollers. These rollers grind and grind for 12 to 72 hours straight. Why so long? It grinds every particle down to less than 20 microns. That is smaller than the human tongue can detect. The grinding creates heat. This drives off moisture and bitter acids. The constant mixing distributes cocoa butter perfectly. Can you conch at home? Kind of. You would need a melange, a stone grinder for chocolate. These cost $500 to $2,000. You would run it for 12 to 24 hours minimum. Your electricity bill would hate you. But it is possible. After conching, the chocolate is finally smooth, creamy, and delicious. Look at that shine, that texture. The factory smells amazing during this process. The chocolate is ready for the next step, tempering. Why does good chocolate snap and shine? The answer, tempering. Cocoa butter forms 6 crystal types. 5 are bad, marked with X. Only 1, beta V, is perfect. Here is how Hershey does it. Step 1, heat chocolate to 113 to 122 degrees. This melts all crystals. Step 3, cool to 88 to 90 degrees. Bad crystals melt, good ones stay. You can temper chocolate at home. Melt it to 115, cool to 82, then warm to 88. Use a good thermometer and a bowl over simmering water. If you do it right, it's shiny and perfect. Mess up, white streaks, but still edible. Now we make actual chocolate bars. The tempered chocolate is poured into metal molds shaped exactly like Hershey's bars. Each mold makes dozens of bars at once. The chocolate is at 88 to 90 degrees, just warm enough to flow. The chocolate is poured into molds. Then the molds go into a vibrating conveyor belt. Why vibrating? To remove air bubbles. Any air trapped would make weak spots. The vibration shakes bubbles to the surface. Pop, pop, pop. The molds travel through a cooling tunnel at 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It takes 20 to 30 minutes for chocolate to fully solidify. As they cool, the chocolate actually shrinks slightly. This makes the bars easy to pop out.